This is 8th grade, Module 7, Lesson 2 on square roots. So we're going to determine the positive square root of each of these. Now, when you take a square root, you actually have two possible answers. You have the positive answer and you also have the negative answer. So I know this is asking for the positive answer, but just to get in a habit, we're going to write a positive negative. So we're going to write both. And then it says to explain. So in this, your explain will actually be your math. So what is the positive square root of 81? So our explain is writing square root of 81. What two numbers, when I multiply them, that are the same two numbers, gives me 81? That would be 9. Now we're not just going to put 9, we're going to put positive negative 9. Because this square root could be representing a negative 9, and it could also be representing a positive 9, okay? So you want to get in the habit of every time you find a square root that's perfect, you're going to want to put positive negative. What is the positive square root of 225? So we're going to put 225, and the positive of that is going to be positive negative 15. I'm going to move this up real quick. Number 3, what is the square root of negative 36? So negative 36. Now you're not going to deal with negative square roots until you get to probably calculus. So for right now, we're just going to say you can't have a negative square root. So there is no square root here. So we're going to say no square root because it's negative. So if you ever see a negative sign inside the square root like this, it's at this stage in the game, it's impossible to solve. But once you get to higher math, then they will show you how to solve it. Number 4, determine the positive of 49. So I'm going to let you do number 4 on your own. Now down below here, we have a number line. And we're going to write the square roots of these. So what's the square root of 1? It's actually root 1. To get the answer of 2, that would be the square root of 4. To get the answer of 3, that's the square root of 9. And to get the answer of 4, that's the square root of 16. All right, so that's just using a number line just so you can kind of see that all worked out. Let's go ahead and go on to number 5. Now, number 5, you're going to find the square roots of these. So the square root of 49 is going to be positive or negative 7. Now, the square root of 62. 62 is not a perfect square. So you remember from the previous lesson, we were saying what it fell between. So we're going to say on this one, this is between 7 and 8. And that's because 7 times 7 gives me 49. And 8 times 8 gives me 64. Okay? So which one is it closer to? This one is going to be closer to 8. So that'll be my answer there. All right, I want you to try 7 and 8 on your own. These will be 2 that I grade. And then I will work with you on number 9. Number 9 says, which of these numbers in the following exercises were not perfect squares? So which ones did you have to find betweens and estimate? And explain why they were not perfect squares. All right, so this obviously will be one that I grade as well. That ends this video tutorial. This is a real short lesson.